हरे कृष्ण। मानस देहो जो किछु पार पिलो तुआ पदे नंदो मानस देहो जो किछु और पिलो आपदे नंदो Hare Krishna. So today is the last day of the seminar, so I was wondering, so there are quite a few aspects that we could discuss. At the outset I want to mention about one very nice devotee from London who was trying to come here for this program, but unfortunately, as she arrived in India, she had a stroke. She was quite old and she was already having physical difficulties. So recently when I was in London and she told me that she wanted to come, I told her not to come. But she insisted, and on the 8th of September, she left her body. Her name is Devakanya Devidasi. She arrived in Mumbai on the 5th September. Both she and her husband were on the wheelchair, and she had a stroke as she came out of the plane. And our plan was to go first to Calcutta from Bombay and then come here for the festival. And from the airport, airline itself took her to the hospital, Kokilavan Ambani Hospital. And she had a brain hemorrhage. She was bleeding quite profusely. Her daughter also is a doctor. She came to India from London. She flew in. And I was in touch with her. And about 3 weeks back, I got to know later that 3 weeks back, during her garden service, she used to make garlands. She used to come and make garlands. And she told her daughter, Radha Dasi, that she was going to go to India to attend this festival, Prabhupada Memorial Festival, and she didn't want to come back to London, she wanted to leave her body. Just go ahead. Anyway, then on 7th, she was taken to Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And there, surrounded by devotees chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, she left her body. I spoke to her a couple of times, and before she left, she was listening to Prabhupada's tapes, and they also called me up and told me, so I also spoke to her. And she couldn't respond, but I was speaking and the phone was kept to her extra ears. So we all pray to Sri Prabhupada that he gives us a shelter of his lotus feet and guides her in a journey back to Godhead. Devakanda Devi Dasi ki. So in her memory, let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Srila Prabhupada. So, yesterday I ended the class with a description of Balaram getting married to Revati. So today we'll discuss about Krishna's marriage. Krishna's marriages. The first one that Krishna got married to, the first queen that Krishna got married to was Rukmini. Who is Rukmini? Rukmini is Mahalakshmi. She is the origin of Lakshmi Devi, Mahalakshmi. So she appeared as the daughter of King Bhishmaka of Vidarbha land. Extremely beautiful. Naturally, she's Lakshmi Devi. So extremely beautiful, extremely qualified. So Bhishmaka was wondering who should she be given to in marriage. That means the consideration of the father is that the daughter must be given to the suitable husband. So one day when Narad Muni came to his palace, he asked about who is a suitable match for Rukmini. So Narad Muni told about Krishna. And Rukmini just heard about Krishna from that description, what Narad Muni was telling about Krishna. Krishna's qualities. And just by hearing, Rukmini fell in love with Krishna. So this is one example that how one can fall in love just by hearing about Krishna. It is not that we have to see Krishna. Just by hearing about Krishna, one can. And how deeply she fell in love. She felt, this is the person I am going to accept as my husband. So just by hearing about Krishna, she offered her heart and soul to him. And when her father got to know that already he was told by Narada Muni that how wonderful Krishna is. And so Bhishmaka also, when he heard that Rukmini has accepted Krishna as a husband, so he was very happy about that and decided, okay, we'll get her married to Krishna. But Rukmini's brother, Rukmi, due to a bad association with Jarasandha and Shishupal and Nandabhadra, he also became averse to Krishna. That is, he also became demoniac. So when he heard that the father wanted Rukmini to be given to Krishna, he was completely opposed to the idea. And he was saying, Krishna? Why Krishna? What's his background? Like, we don't even know whether he's a Kshatriya. Some say that he is the son of Vasudeva. But even if he's the son of Vasudeva, even if he's a Kshatriya, but what's his upbringing? He grew up in a village with the cowherd boys. So see how the materialistic people's attitude is? Like they try to see everything from the materialistic point of view. The birth in aristocratic family and materialistic material qualifications. That's their own concern. And he says, no way she is going to get married to Krishna. The suitable match for Rukmini is Shishupal, Krishna's enemy. Not that Krishna's enemy, but Shishupal considered that Krishna was his enemy. They were related actually, cousins. Krishna and Shishupal were cousins. Shishupal's mother was Krishna's aunt. And Rukmini says, see, what a family line. And what a heroic person he is. He's so powerful, he's so strong. And naturally, who is Shishupal? Shishupal is who was Ravana. And prior to that, Hiranyakashipu. It's the biggest demon. So he wanted his daughter to be married to this demon, Shishupal. Ravana and Kumbhakarna appeared as Shishupal and Dandava. So, and Bhishmaka could not protest because actually the fathers of these demons were very worried, very much afraid of their sons. Like they saw how Kamsa arrested his father and put him in prison. So Bhishma also was kind of worried that if I go against him, then probably he'll also put me in prison. So he did not oppose. He said, okay, if that is what you want, go ahead. So the marriage was arranged for Rukmini with Shishupal. And Rukmini was totally devastated. So now she had only 2 days left. And the arrangement was made very quickly so that there is no impediment. So in 2 days' time she was married. So she wrote a letter to Krishna. Beautiful letter. Saying that how she has given her heart to Krishna. And this heart that she has given, she cannot offer it to anyone else. And she sent a Brahmana with a letter to Dwarka. So the Brahmana went to Krishna, gave the letter. Krishna asked him to read it out. So he read it out. Beautiful way of surrendering to Krishna. So Krishna immediately called his chariot driver, Daruka, that harness the horses and chariot. I am going immediately. So Krishna just left to rescue Rukmini alone with the Brahmana. Balaram got the news and he had anticipated some trouble. So he took the army and went to follow Krishna. In the morning, Krishna arrived and he rested in a garden and saw from the garden a beautiful city called Kundin Gram and full of opulence. And in the meantime, all these Shishupal along with his other friends also came. Like Jarasandha, Dantavakra, Viduratha, Pomdraka. So they all are demons. Demons mean they're kings, but they're averse to Krishna. The demons have taken birth as kings. And so they also, so then Bhishmaka greeted them like all these kings came, Jarasandha, Dantavakra, they're all Shishupal's friends. And then Bhishmaka got to know that Krishna also arrived and Balaram also came. So he also went to greet them. And seeing Krishna, he was thinking, when he was greeting Krishna, after offering worship. At the back of his mind, he was thinking, I wish Rukmini was married to Krishna. Such a nice person. He's not only so beautiful, so handsome, but his nature also is so attractive. And not only Bhishmaka, even the people of that city, when they saw Krishna, they also started to tell, we wish Rukmini was married to Krishna. So, and now in the meantime, Rukmini is waiting. What happened to the Brahmana? And she was thinking, did the Brahmana reach there safely? Did he give the letter to Krishna? Did Krishna read it? Did Krishna decide to come and rescue me as I requested him to do? So when she was in utter anxiety, on the day of her marriage, the Brahmana just came there and gave the good news that Krishna already arrived. So Rukmini felt quite reassured. So just before the marriage, she had to go, she went to the Durga temple, Parvati's temple, and she was offering prayers. Devi, you always fulfill the desire of your devotees. So please allow me to get married to Krishna. And her friends who were surrounding her, they heard, said, what are you saying? You are getting married to Shishupal. You should pray that you can get married to Shishupal. So Rukmini didn't say anything. She was just silently offering the prayers. And she went there to the temple surrounded by thousands of soldiers. Some were on foot, some were on chariots, some were on horseback. So she is being guarded. And the enemy side also is worried that Krishna came. And they got to know that also that initially the idea was to offer Rukmini to Krishna. And they were anticipating that maybe Krishna will cause some trouble. So they came with their entire army. For example, Paundraka came with 2 Akshayani soldiers. Viduratha came with 3 Akshayani. Dantavakra came with 5 Akshayani. Shalva came with 3 Akshayani. And Jarasandha came with 10 Akshayani. So this way they came with 23 Akshayani soldiers. And so they all were, all the soldiers were guarding Rukmini. So after worshipping the Devi, Rukmini just came out of the temple. As she came out of the temple, just by seeing her beauty, all the soldiers became completely mesmerized. And they lost their senses, their arms fell off their hands. Many of them just fainted and fell on the ground. Seeing her beauty, became afflicted by lusty desire. And so in the meantime, Krishna just drove the chariot like a wind, cut through the enemy line, came to Rukmini, picked her up in the chariot and drove off. When Krishna took Rukmini and drove off, then they all came back to their senses. And they started to shout. He has stolen the bride. Krishna has stolen the bride. And so at that time, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Shishupal was already in the ceremony. The poor guy was already bathed by the Brahmanas, dressed up and all. And others, they were playing dice. And they heard the uproar. And that Krishna stole the bride. So they all came out and arranged their army and attacked Krishna and Balaram with the judges. Now, Balaram actually brought only 1 Akshayani and soldiers, but there were 23 Akshayanis. So terrible fight ensued. And in that battle, Balaram alone actually with his mace struck Jarasandha, Dantavakra, Viduratha, Paundraka, Shalva, and they all became unconscious. And then Balaram, with his plow, he pulled all the enemy soldiers He was pulling the soldiers with his plow and he was beating them with his club. And in this way, all those soldiers were wiped out. It has been described, the 80 square mile area became like a pool of blood, with the blood of all these dead soldiers. So, and they somehow, Jarasandha and others somehow saved their life and ran away from the battlefield when they gained their consciousness. They ran from the battlefield. And they went to Shishupal. Shishupal was sitting there with his, holding his head with his hands, completely devastated. Jarasandha was like the leader of the group. He consoled Shishupal, don't worry. Just one bride we lost. So what? There are so many princesses waiting to get married to you. So in this way, Krishna actually kidnapped Rukmini Haran. Now the news reached Rukmini, who was in the palace. So when he heard that, he just took a vow. If I don't kill Krishna and rescue my sister and bring her back, I'm not going to come back to this city. And he arranged his soldiers and attacked Krishna and Balaram. Again, another fight ensued, and his army was defeated. Krishna caught Rukmini, and he was about to kill him. Rukmini fell at Krishna's feet, that on this auspicious occasion, please don't smear it with the blood of my relative, blood of my brother. Please spare him. So Krishna didn't kill him, but shaved him up. Half the head, half of his moustache, and half of his beard. And which was synonymous to death. Such an embarrassment for a warrior. So Balaram came, and Balaram started to jokingly chastise Krishna. Krishna, is this the way to treat your brother-in-law? How will you ever win the heart of your wife if you treat her brother in this way? So Krishna then released him, and he did not go back. Rukmini did not go back to the kingdom, Kundin ground. But he settled there and created a city there called Bhojapur. So this is how Krishna got married to Rukmini. Rukmini was brought to Garga, and with great pomp and grandeur, Rukmini got married to Krishna. One day, one king, Satrajit, came to the... Satrajit was a worshipper of sun god. And sun god gave him a jewel called Samantaka jewel. And this Samantaka jewel used to radiate such brilliance that when Satrajit came wearing that jewel, people started to think that Surya Dev has arrived. And the news reached the assembly of Ugrasena. As Surya Dev has come, Surya Dev has come. But eventually they found out that it was Satyajit wearing this Samanta jewel. So Krishna told Satyajit to give that jewel to King Ugrasen. But he did not say anything. He was silent. He didn't say anything. And so then one day, Satyajit's brother, Satadhanna, wearing the jewel, went to the forest to hunt. And he was killed by a lion. And when he didn't come back, and the news reached that Satyajit is dead, Satadhanna is dead in the forest. So Satyajit started to spread the rumor that it must be Krishna who, for his desire to get Samantaka jewel, he killed him and took the jewel away. But actually what happened is Satadhanna was killed by a lion. Then Jambavan, as you remember, Lord Ramchandra's associate, Jambavan killed the lion and took the Samantaka jewel. So Krishna then, in order to free himself from this bad rumor, Krishna himself went to the forest and he saw Satadhanna, and nearby he saw the body of the lion, and then he saw the footsteps, some footsteps. So following the footsteps he came to a cave. So he entered into the cave, and in that cave he saw that a little boy is playing with Samantaka jewel. So when Krishna asked the boy started to cry. And hearing the boy's loud cry, Jambavan came out and he saw Krishna. And he asked, "Who are you? Why, what are you doing here?" And he attacked Krishna. So they fought for a long time. For 27 days they fought. But no one could defeat the other. So on the 27th day, Jambavan went to offer some worship to his Lord. There was no flower on tulsi leaf, so he found some moss. So he took that moss and offered it to Lord Ramchandra. So when he came to fight again, he saw that the moss that he offered to Ramchandra is at the feet of Krishna. So then he realized, so this is my Lord Ramchandra actually, who came in this way. So he recognized who Krishna was, and he fell at his feet, begged forgiveness, and as a token of remorse and apology, he offered his beautiful daughter, Jambavati, to Krishna. And he gave the Samantaka jewel as a dowry. So then Krishna went back to Dwarka and offered and gave that jewel to King Satyajit. Now Satyajit became very afraid that I spread a false rumor, and Krishna was so angry, must be so angry, and to have animosity with Krishna means the end of my life. So he wanted to make truce with Krishna. So he had a beautiful daughter, Satyabhama. So he offered her to Krishna. And so this is how Krishna got married to his third wife, Satyabhama. Then Krishna went to see his relatives, the Pandavas, in Hastinapur. And that's the first time actually Krishna met the Pandavas. And from the first meeting only they became, Arjuna and Krishna became so friendly. Krishna heard all the difficulties that they had gone through, and Krishna tried to console them. Then Krishna and Arjuna went out hunting. So after hunting, they were just sitting on the bank of the Jamuna and just talking among themselves. So all of a sudden they saw there's an extremely beautiful girl. And Krishna became curious who this girl was. So he told Arjuna, Arjuna, go and find out who this girl is. So Arjuna went and asked her who she was. And she told that she's the daughter of Sun God and Surya Kanya. Her name is Kalindi. And she wanted to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as her husband. So her father built a palace for her under the Jamuna River. So there she is performing austerity in order to get Krishna as a husband. So then Arjuna said, well, Krishna is here. So Arjuna took Kalindi to Krishna, and this is how Krishna got married to fourth wife, Kalindi. Then in this particular place called Avanti, the king had a beautiful daughter, Mitravinda. And Mitravinda was going to be taken to herself, have a sayamvar. And she had two brothers, Binda and Anubinda. They also became demoniac. So they were so demoniac that they told Mitravinda that, look, you are going to select your husband. Select whoever you want, but not Krishna. So this is how the demons are always opposed to Krishna. So anyway, so like Krishna, Rukmini, Krishna also stole Mitravinda, who was his fifth wife. There was in each such case, there was a terrible fight. This time they actually made a barricade on the way. And all the soldiers, all of a sudden they attacked Krishna when they were returning. And Krishna actually defeated all of them and took Mitravinda to birth. And then Krishna got to know about one princess. She was very, very beautiful. She was celebrated for her beauty. Her name was Satya. So Krishna went to her father's palace. Father's name was Nagnajit. Therefore, Satya's another name was Nagnajiti. the daughter of King Nagmaji. So Krishna came there. The father received Krishna very happily. And he was very... And Krishna told, I heard about your daughter and I came to have her as my wife. Said that, look, I would be very happy to have you as my son-in-law. But the problem is, I made a condition that I have 7 bulls. They're extremely ferocious. Each bull is like 1,000 lions, as powerful as 1,000 lions, and more ferocious than 1,000 lions. So, whoever will be able to subdue these 7 bulls can have my daughter. And you know, so many kings and powerful princes came. Many of them left their lives here and with broken limbs, broken legs and arms. They actually left this place. No one has been successful in doing that. So that is the condition, right? If you want to have my daughter as your wife, then you have to fulfill that condition. Krishna said, fine. So Krishna went to the arena, a huge arena was created, and the 7 bulls were released, and as soon as they were released, they charged towards Krishna. And Krishna immediately expanded himself into 7 forms, 6 more forms. And he tackled those 7 bulls, subdued them, put the rope around their nose, because when you put the rope around through the nose of the bull becomes tame. They put the nose through the ropes through the nose of the 7 bulls, and he took them to King Nagmaji. So this is how Krishna got married to the 6th wife. Then there was another princess, her name was Bhadra. Now Bhadra's brothers were very fond of Krishna, so they offered Bhadra to Krishna. And in South India, in Madhya, in Madras, today's Tamil Nadu, it was such a beautiful name coming from, so since the time immemorial, Madhya, and that became Madras. But now they got them in Tamil Nadu. Maybe they're fond of laddus. So they changed the name. The king of Madhya had a beautiful daughter. Her name was Lakshmana. And just like Draupadi, he also made an arrangement that if somebody can pierce the target looking at the reflection on a pool of water, if he can shoot the arrow through a revolving disc with a hole in it, then and hit the target, then he can win Lakshmana. So many kings came, but they all failed. But then Krishna went and he hit the target with his bow and arrow, And this is how he won Lakshmana. This is how Krishna got married to 8 principal queens. And actually, when Krishna expands, then Radharani also expands. So Krishna expanded from Vrindavan to Dwarka as Vasudeva. Then the 8 gopis also expanded as the 8 queens. And there were Krishna was dancing with 16,000 queens, 16,000 gopis. Now let's see what happened to those 16,100. There was a demon called Narakasura. So the demon was causing a lot of distress to the demigods. And so the demigods approached Krishna. This Narakasura has stole the earrings of Aditi, the mother of the demigods. He also stole the umbrella of Indra, and he is causing so much distress. So please take care. So be requested by the demigods. Krishna went to Pragjyotishpur, today's Assam, Guwahati, and there he challenged Narakasura. A terrible fight ensued and Krishna killed Narakasura. Now this Narakasura had 16,100 princesses in captivity, imprisoned. So Krishna, after killing Narakasura, he released those girls, and all those girls fell at his feet and said, look, we have been, our reputation, our character has been smeared because we have been stolen from our father's house by this demon. And we have been in captivity, in the prison of the demons. So no one will marry us, thinking that we are all contaminated. So you are the shelter of all the fallen souls, all the living in distress. So you please accept us as your wives. So Krishna said, okay. So Krishna expanded himself into 16,100 Krishnas. He got married to all these 16,100 princesses. So this is how Krishna actually got married to 16,108. So from Rukmini, Krishna got his son, Pradyumna. Pradyumna is actually Kamdev, Cupid. And Cupid is born as Pradyumna. In the previous life, Cupid was burned to ashes by Lord Shiva. Do you all know the story? Do you know the incident? Everyone knows? Or you want to hear it? Haribol means yes or no? Yes. You see, Sati, that you know, yeah? That Sati left her body because her father Daksha was blaspheming Lord Shiva in front of her. So she could not tolerate the blasphemy of her husband. So she left her body. So when Lord Shiva got the news, he came with his associates and plundered the sacrifice of Daksha. He killed Daksha, and even those brahmanas, sages who were assisting Daksha in the sacrifice, they also were harassed. All his teeth were broken. And somebody lost his shikha. So this is how everyone was harassed. And so then Sati, Lord Shiva, picked up Sati's body and he started to dance. That dance is called Tandava Nritya, dance of devastation. And as Lord Shiva dances, the whole creation falls apart through the Tandava. Like as his feet fall with the stepping, the atoms and molecules split. And that's how the whole creation becomes annihilated, destroyed. So the whole creation is now going to fall apart because of Lord Shiva's angry mood and due to his Tandava. And so the demigods approached Vishnu, Narayana, that the whole creation is falling apart. Please do something. So Narayana then released his Sudarshan Chakra. And Sudarshan Chakra kept cutting Sati's body to pieces. Sati's body was cut into 51 pieces. And those places became the place of deity, pilgrimage place of deity. One piece also fell here. In Calcutta there is one piece, Kali Ghat is where one piece fell. In Assam, near Guwahati, in Kamakha, one piece fell. So these are all the places of deity. So then her whole body being cut into pieces by Sudarshan Chakra, and then all of a sudden Lord Shiva saw no body. So he just sat down and in meditation. Now the demigods are being attacked by the demons, and they needed a qualified general. And so the general could be the ideal general that they could get has to be the son of Lord Shiva. He would be the qualified general of the demigods. Now Lord Shiva is in a trance. He had lost all his external senses. And so when they approached Kamdev, what does Kamdev do? Kamdev arouses the lusty feelings in the heart. He has 5 arrows. He shoots those sour arrows, and being struck by those arrows, one develops attraction for opposite sex. So they went and told Kamdev that please break Lord Shiva's vow and Shiva's trance by shooting the arrows. Prior to that, it was understood, the demigods knew that Sati has been born as the daughter of the Himalaya, Parvati. So now Parvati has to be married to Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva is completely lost in his meditation. So Kamdev refused to do that. He said, no way. And I don't want to become a cause of Lord Shiva's wrath, anger. But the demigods said, don't worry, we will protect you. You just do it. We will be there to protect you. So being persuaded in this way, Kamdev went and shoot his flower arrows. And being struck by those flower arrows, Lord Shiva's meditation broke. And he wanted to figure out who actually broke my meditation. And his glance fell on Kamdev. And he was burnt to ashes. So that's why Kamdev doesn't have any form, any body. Another name of Kamdev is Ananga. Ananga, Ananga, one without any anga, one without any body. So this is how Kamdev actually lost his body. So now Kamdev is born as Pradyumna. And there was a demon called Sambarasura. The Sambarasura got to know that Krishna and Rukmini's son, Pradyumna, will be the cause of his death. Now when this demon gets to know about their death, what will they do? We all know. They somehow want to try to avoid death. So when Pradyumna was not even 10 days, he was about 9 days old, Sambarasura stole Pradyumna from the palace and carried him onto the ocean and dropped him in the ocean, thinking that he has killed him. But there was a big fish that swallowed the baby. Some fishermen, while fishing in the ocean, caught this big fish. And he thought that it is this fish. If I offer to the king will be very pleased. So he went and gave this fish to Sambarasura. Sambarasura told them to take the fish to the kitchen and have a nice mache chol, a fish curry. So, and the head cook, when he cut the fish, they saw there was a baby in the belly of the fish. But the baby is still alive. He was surprised. The fish is in the belly of the fish. The child is in the belly of the fish, but the baby is still alive. So he called one of his assistants, a girl called Mayavati, and said that this baby is still alive, so you take care of this baby. Now, this Mayavati is actually Cupid's or Kamdev's wife, Rati. She was there as Mayavati. And when she saw the baby, she realized it's her husband. And surprisingly, this little boy, this baby, immediately grew up to a young man. And then Mayavati was treating him as a husband. So Pradyumna told that you are like my mother. Why are you behaving with me in this way? So when she told that actually you are my husband from my previous life, from our previous life, and you are the Sambarasura tried to kill you. You are the son of Krishna and Rukmini. So she gave the whole knowledge, and she told that you have to kill Sambarasura. But Sambarasura has mystic power. Therefore, it's very difficult to defeat him. It's impossible to defeat him. But I am giving you the mystic power called Mahamaya. And with that power, you'll be able to subdue his mystic. So, he went and challenged Sambarasura. Sambarasura asked, why are you challenging me? Why do you want to fight with me? I don't have any animosity with you. Then Pradyumna said, you are the one, you remember? You stole me from my parents' palace, from my mother's lap. And you threw me in the ocean, thinking that you were going to kill me. So and you're saying that you don't have any animosity with me. Come, let's fight. So these demons are very powerful. So a terrible fight ensued between Sambarasura and Pradyumna. And then Sambarasura started to use this mystic power. He disappeared. And all kinds of weapons started to fly towards Pradyumna. And he couldn't see where his enemy was. So he just meditated on the mantra, Mahamaya. And then immediately Sambarasura's mystic spell disappeared. And so Pradyumna then killed Sambarasura. And then with Rati, he came back to Dwarka. When he came, like everyone, especially the queen, seeing him, they thought that this is Krishna. And so, but at the same time, they felt that towards this boy, they are feeling, instead of having amorous feeling, they are feeling affection. And then Krishna told me what actually. So this is how Pradyumna got married to, what's her name? Mayavati or Ratna? Mayavati. Pradyumna got married to another girl, surprisingly. The daughter of Rukmini. Rukmini's brother who fought with Krishna. She had a beautiful daughter and he actually also stole her. So that's how Pradyumna got married to Rukmini's daughter. And now they have got a relationship. But a demon's nature cannot be rectified. So one day, Balaram was in Rukmini's house in Bhojapur. And they were playing dice. And Rukmini was cheating. So Balaram found out that he was cheating in the game. So he took that dice and hit him with that. And Rukmini was dead. Now, Pradyumna's son is Aniruddha. Do you want to hear another love story? there was a very powerful demon, Asura. His name is Banasura. Banasura had a beautiful daughter, Usha. So, as the girls usually in their budding youth develop some infatuation. So, Usha started to see somebody in her dreams, and she used to converse with him. So her friend, her constant companion, Chitralekha, the daughter of Bana's minister, Chitralekha could see, could hear that at night she must be dreaming of somebody and she is speaking to him in her dreams. So she asked Chitralekha. Chitralekha asked Usha, what's the matter? Looks like you've fallen in love with somebody. And Usha says, yes, one personality appears to me in a dream, and I feel an inconceivable attraction towards him, and he speaks to me in a very loving way, and I have fallen in love with that person. Like I have given my heart to him. So Chitralekha had the ability to paint. So she started to paint different personalities. Is this the person in your dream? Is this the person? So she was showing the portraits, painting portraits of different exalted personalities. And upon seeing that, Usha would say, no, not this one, not this one. But then when it came to Aniruddha, Pradyumna's son, Chitralekha could see that there was a sign of embarrassment, and she looked down. So she said, yes, this is the one. So who is this? Oh, this is Krishna's grandson and Adut Pradyumna's son. They live in Dwarka. Now Dwarka is far, far away. So what to do? Chitralekha says, don't worry, Usha. Your friend is going to fulfill your heart's desire. So she had the mystic power. So with her mystic power, she transported Aniruddha in his sleep from Dwarka to Shonipur, Vienna's Banasura capital. And so they were very happy, falling in love. And generally, in the royal family or aristocratic family, the women do not have anything to do with the male members. So that is called Andarmala, inner part of the house. So they're in the inner part of the house, and then Usha's Dhatri, the nurse or maid servant, one of the maid servants, could see the sign that she is associating with some men. So instead of trying to do something herself, she went and reported to her mother that, look, your daughter looks like she is associated with some male member. And how is it possible? She never goes out from the inner chamber. She doesn't have any possibility of associating with any man. So her mother also came and saw that. She saw him. She is having the sign of meeting some male member. So she reported her husband. So immediately Vanasura came into the inner part of the palace where the ladies were. And there he found Aniruddha playing dice with Usha. So both of them were shocked to be caught in this way. So Vanasura told his bodyguards, arrest him. He was unarmed, he didn't have any weapon. So he found an iron rod. And just with that iron rod, he wiped out all of Vanasura's bodyguards. So Vanasura then used his power with Varuna Pash, the ropes of Varuna, which is like a mystic power, like he arrested and tied up. So Narad Muni went and reported to Krishna and Dwarka. So immediately they got their army and came to rescue Aniruddha. And a terrible fight ensued. Vanasura was blessed by Lord Shiva that he would protect his capital. And so Lord Shiva also came to fight on behalf of Vanasura with all the demigods. And and a terrible fight ensued. And in that fight, Sudarshan Chakra chased Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva ran, went to Kashi, Benares. And there the chakra burnt the whole Benares. So then Lord Shiva actually went to Mayapur, being chased by the chakra. So then, anyway, so Lord Shiva actually came and begged Krishna not to kill Vanasura, because he said that this was my disciple, very fond disciple of mine, so please spare him. So Vanasura had 1,000 arms. That's why he was so proud of his prowess. So Krishna, with his Sudarshan Chakra, cut 996 arms of Vanasura and kept only 4. So that is how Vanasura was defeated and Aniruddha got married. So Krishna's pastimes are so wonderful. Thank you all very much. Now I'll take some questions. There were some questions from yesterday. Who has them? Take some. Question from Radha Charan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Radha Charan Prabhu. Actually, the first question is, how much older is Balaram than Lord Krishna as per their appearance. So that is a mystery. But Jiva Goswami makes a point that it cannot be 1 year, because the child could not be 1 year without a name. Right? Krishna and Balaram had the name giving ceremony together. Garga Muni came and gave. So that way it seems that their distance was just a couple of weeks. And we can also see that they're playing a similar way. Like holding on to the tail of a calf. Balaram and Krishna. Same. Anyway, the thing is that it's inconceivable. Garga Muni, Garga Samhita is actually saying that Balaram stayed in in his room for 5 days. And then he appeared. So these are all some inconceivable facts that we won't be able to solve. The next question is, those who worship deities develop some attachment to the deities, which help in meditation. Those who focus on chanting, preaching and study don't have that much attachment to deities. How should we understand? Very good point. So I presume you are driving at personal deities at the moment. Right. So yes, attachment to the deities is natural. But the point is, like when you have the deities at home, you have to take care of them properly. Right? Especially Radha Krishna deities. Better than Radha Krishna worship, easier than Radha Krishna worship is Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. You just treat them, they'll be happy. Jagannath is happy if there is enough offerings. But even more simple is Govindai. They are happy if you're just chanting. So that is the point, like when one is working or running his business, is out most of the time, and nowadays what is happening, both husband and wife are working. So who will take care of the deities? Like just having the worship of the deities in the morning, one time, and then rest of the day, no attention. It's not right. Like that's why if you want to have deities, then make sure that you're in a position to take care of them. At least one member of the family has to be assigned with that responsibility. So now the other consideration is that Prabhupada, early days, of course, did not want devotees to have personal deities. Prabhupada's response was that if you all want to have your own deities, then why I am having the deity? Like you all are going to take care of your deities, we'll take care of the deities in the temple. So therefore, the best thing is to develop the attachment to the deities in the temple. Okay. Next question. Those who get direct personal